Hello everyone, this video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball is the app that you all need. We all have it here at Newcastle Fans TV to get all the latest information on Newcastle United and the Premier League. And January is going to be huge as well with the January transfer window. Make sure you download OneFootball to get all the latest information on incomings and outgoings on Newcastle United.
Newcastle Fans TV.
Hello everyone, welcome back to NFTV. Brandon hasn't got a clue what's happening, doesn't know what even this video is about, even though we've expressed it 2 or 3 times. This is about selling players in January.
Right, okay.
Hey, switched on now? How many of them you had?
So
Not the makes, the drinks, man.
what about it?
Forget it, right. Fucking hell. Right, fucking hell. Are you sure you want to get it with him, Denise?
I want to go with them.
Right, back on topic. Realistically, look, we could probably say 22 players because they're all useless apart from 2 or 3. I'm going to come to Liam because he's probably just tells it like it is.
It was my idea as well.
It was your idea, so well done. Let's look at the forward line. Can you really get rid of Dwight Gale? Because is anybody else who will come in?
For me, Dwight Gale should have went in the summer. Like, we should never have given him his contract. I'll get rid of Dwight Gale because I think we're going to bring players in. I think there's that lad from Reading who scored, Newcastle player.
Andy Carroll.
Yeah.
Good goal, actually.
It was an unbelievable goal. But
Celebration to match.
I think we could get rid of Dwight Gale. I think we could get rid of multiple positions.
Would you just get rid of Gale? Because we're not going to get a big fee. Would you just get him off the wages?
I think that's going to be the problem, is his wage. I think what we're potentially going to have to do is pay some of his wage to get rid of him.
That's practically it. That's all we've got in the forward line, really, because Joe Litton's a midfielder. And I don't think he's going to be sold because he's on loads of money. We've spent loads of money on him, Matt. You look at that, we'll start with the wingers. I think off the bench, game changers, we don't have many. Obviously, we know ASM is the star man, but Fraser, hit and miss, Miggy, Murphy, to some extent. Say again?
Fraser really get a real chance though. Like he gets like now a run of games probably under Howe.
I think it's a good squad player off the bench.
To see how it plays out. Like he shows some positive sides at least.
Fraser offers more in the final third than what Miggy does.
I would just like to add, when Fraser played at a winger against Brentford, he was unbelievable. Well, for the 10 minutes he was on.
Who would you play rather though? Like Fraser or Miggy?
If there's one spot left.
But what position?
Anyway, attacking winger, whatever.
Well, if it was a winger, then Fraser.
Yeah.
That's what I'm meaning. Like as a winger, like
Yeah, I'm saying if he's a winger, he's a good player. But if a wing back, he's not.
But either winger or
I feel like I've got a magic wand. That's all the time. Fucking hell.
it's already weird for me playing Fraser like a winger. Like he's not a winger.
what position?
But he is a winger, Fraser. That's his best
I
position.
mean, like he's not a left or right back or whatever.
He's
You
not
know.
wing back.
Yeah, he's not a wing back.
You've got to consider Jacob Murphy as well, though, because
That's what I was about to say, Matt. Then, so if you look at them wingers, is anybody that you look off the bench and think he's a game changer?
No, it's just the long and short of it. Absolutely not. No one, for me personally.
The only thing with me is Murphy's very direct.
He comes on and he tries his best, and he does make some good chances, but he's just so poor.
I'm going to say it. Murphy's not good enough for the Premier League.
But if he could,
He's a good off the bench, but that's not what we want.
he scored a 6 out of 7.
He's got to stay in the Premier League, and he's not the man to get with.
Realistically, if we're going to look up the table rather than backwards, we need a better quality player than him off the bench.
But with all the Newcastle players, like I wish them to do well because
We want the players to do well.
Yeah.
So this is for Matt. Then, with the wingers, do you keep all of them, or would you get rid of one? I know it's hard to think we've got players coming in, but out the wingers, let's just say one gets cut adrift and one goes. Who is it?
For me, Jacob Murphy, it's got to be, because Fraser and Miggy, both talented players. That
People are going to be in the comments now saying, well, he's the best at right wing back. I don't think that, but there will be people out there.
I mean, personally, I'd prefer Manquillo as a right wing back, even Fraser. I think Fraser did against Arsenal. He wasn't the best performance, but he did show flashes of being good defensively.
So it'll be
But
Murphy.
for and he's played in the Championship and he did well. We know that Championship level.
Do you think what we're going to see is a lot of players leaving, but we're going to be playing a lot of their wages?
I think that could be the case. Get them off the books.
Yeah.
But there is a few players who are actually winding down the contracts with Sean Longstaff. One of them, Brandon, I'm going to come to you with centre midfields. I've said this for a while. We don't have a ball carrier. We can't get someone from the edge of the box to get up towards our final third. Liam disagrees on that. We'll come back to that in a sec.
just play like
It's not like you disagree.
Wijnaldum was a player who did that for us.
Give it up with Dutch players, man.
Or even Sissoko, he kind of did. He kind of did that. Say Liam, like Sissoko isn't better than what we have now. In the midfielders we play now, Elliot Anderson doesn't get a looking. Do you think Elliot Anderson would have need a chance or whatever.
He's got to stay fit first.
I think
it might be looked at. He needs a chance. Yes, he needs a chance, but he's he's had a lot of injuries the last 12. He's not injury prone, but he's had a lot. Stop-start, a bit like Fraser. But with our centre midfield, who's at risk of going? This is a sell video.
Who's at risk to?
Sean's contract's going down. Hendrick, yeah.
Long stuff is going.
Shelby might be having a new lease of life.
Probably going. Fernandez probably.
I don't know if they're playing centre mid. Like, how many he had of these? Honestly, he's had.
Yeah.
That's the problem that we've got. I don't think it'll be like, let's say, 20 odd players going. I think he will probably find 4 or 5. Liam, I'll come back to you with the defenders out wide first, because I think it's a problem. Jamal Lewis, Matt Ritchie, and then you look on the right hand side, which is just abysmal.
So yeah, I think the problem with Matt Ritchie needs to be dropped, because he's every time, like for the second goal against Arsenal, how far he was out from that line. If you're looking along the line, he was like about 5 yards.
It's not the first time this season either.
It's not the first time. It's not the first time that game. He was terrible. He's been terrible. All teams do is attack down Matt Ritchie's side, and I think I would sell him.
I know you and I know Sam and everyone who was slagging off Jamal Lewis when he was playing.
I was as well. The lad hasn't been seen. The lad hasn't been seen for like nearly a year. But you think about
same with Dummett. Like I think Dummett is actually a good shout, better than Lewis though.
I'll keep Lewis because I think he's got age. But on the other side, them right wing backs. I mean, the amount of people that have played there, Liam. There's 4 or 5, and they're all useless for me.
Yeah, it's a position we need to look into. If you said to me, get rid of any players, it would probably be right wing back, and I wouldn't bat an eyelid. Like I think
who's the best out of the bad bunch?
Murphy,
really? I think Manquillo.
See, for me, Manquillo, he loses his.
There's no one stand out.
He's going last couple of times.
His concentration.
Yes,
Manquillo's concentration is just dreadful. Like, he'll just switch off like this.
Defensively, he's better than Murphy. Oh wait.
I'm not bothered with defensively. We're more attacking team. Do you know what I mean? He couldn't defend.
Oh, I like that. We're an attacking team now.
He couldn't. Manquillo couldn't defend in a defensive team.
Fucking Jeff Hendrick's got a goal. Doesn't mean he's fucking world class. Come on. Look, I think
going back to your centre mid thing before, Wahab actually got a ball carrying midfielder. It's Willock, but he's not playing in the right position.
But I'm not 100% sure, but I think Manquillo has more assists than Murphy does. Actually, I'm pretty sure. Actually, 80% sure that Manquillo has more assists.
Jeff Hendrick has the same amount of goals as Joe Linton. Come on, man. It's not.
We're talking about Joe Linton though. Okay, he plays good the last couple of games.
We all know he's not going to get sold because he's got that money.
So low for Joe Linton. I mean, like we had high expectations for Joe Linton.
I don't think he'll be sold anyway. Joe Linton.
Spider has more legs than an elephant, but that's just a bit irrelevant. Do you know what I mean?
When Joe Linton plays in Power Good now, we think he has a good game. You know what I mean? Like we lowered the bar.
Joe Linton won't be sold because of the wages and the money we paid for him. It's as simple as that. And Eddie Howe wants to work with him, but we'll look at that. Go on.
Joe Linton, right, on his day is unbelievable. Like he showed against Brentford. Obviously,
He wasn't
crap against Arsenal.
He wasn't the worst. He wasn't the worst against Arsenal.
He wasn't great against Arsenal. I think, I would tell all the right backs if the bid come in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The centre backs, I'll come to you, Matt, and then Brandon. You can have your famous Czechoslovakians, whichever nation you're presenting this night. The centre backs are a real problem this season.
Yeah.
With Paul Dummett, I think if he's fit, might actually come in and steady that back line, but you're not going to. The captain's not going to be sold, though, is he?
No.
Because the fact he's captain.
Unfortunately not. I mean, Lascelles had a good couple of seasons for us. You know, there was shouts for him to be in the England team, like outside shouts, albeit. But he's just so poor now. His position, he can't command his back line. You saw with that Ritchie goal. Ritchie's so far deep. Yes, that's Ritchie's fault, but Lascelles should be dragging him up with him. He should be screaming at him to step up.
Do you think that's because Ritchie's lost his pace?
I think he's, that's in his head. He wants to give an extra yard to himself because he has lost his pace. But again, he's a winger playing at wing back. It's not his fault that he's defensively weak. We're playing players out of position. But the centre backs, Kieran Clark's, again, he's had his form in the past, but he's not been the same since his injury. He's been very poor recently. And if we're looking for a left-sided centre back, we've already got Paul Dummett.
That defence was what we had in the Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
And one of them that we bought on deadline day a couple of years ago was Federico Fernandez. Is he the big one that's now heading out?
Well, it seems to be, but I don't understand why. Because to me, he's arguably our best defensive defender. He's a solid standard centre back. He'll win balls in the air. He's a hard tackling defender, and he's smart as well. His positional sense is quite good, and I don't understand why he's not been in the team recently. But because he's not been in the team, you've got to question: is he going to go out the door? Because Premier League teams will snap them up.
Do you think one or two? Sorry, I'll come to you, Brandon. Do you think one or two will go?
I think Fernandes will be one unless he starts getting a run of games in the team all of a sudden, you know. But if he doesn't get a game soon, he'll be out the door because he'll want football. He's a good defender and he's a Premier League quality defender, so he'll be one of the ones out the door, I imagine.
Come on, Brandon, what's in?
I'm saying like Fernandes is gonna be the same Lejeune.
Like me?
Lejeune.
I thought you said me. Honestly. Right, anyway. Johnny's arm's hurting, I can tell, because he's...
I think so, though. Like, he's gonna be
but Lejeune's gone now, we'll have to deal.
Yeah,
but Lejeune's gone. I think Lejeune's a totally different player. But you've got the goalkeepers. I think I know what you're going to say about Dubravka, but...
I would sell Darlow, though, for a few million quid. I would definitely keep Woodman, though.
If you sell Darlow, then Woodman automatically becomes second choice, doesn't
it? So what's wrong with that?
Just free up the wages.
I mean, like Dubravka.
Darlow's on a big fat contract now, isn't he?
I actually think Dubravka is one of the best goalies in the league, like at least top 5.
Right, anyways, we're going to love you and leave you from the tune. Ta-da, everyone.